I am Mike Bloomberg's son. How you doing?
Hey, Mike, so glad you're able to meet with me today so we can talk a little bit about Runway Buy. Just so you know a little bit about me, my background is fashion, been in the industry for about 15 years. I actually came across this idea and this concept because I was at my first fashion week. Have you ever looked to buy something that you couldn't buy? You went to go maybe purchase a product, could not get it because it wasn't available?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. People have that happen all the time. And this is why the actual platform was designed. The circular system currently in the retail market, from the time it hits a runway to the time it hits a retail store, is normally 5 to 6 months. We wanted to shorten that time frame by creating a product that will allow people to purchase directly from the runway. So now what happens when you're actually at a show, or if you're actually logging onto our platform from around the world to watch a show, we've had designers make a commitment to a small order sample that they can actually allow for purchasing immediately. And what's cool about that for the designer is the designers also have the ability to have their products and their videos shoppable and monetizable. There are videos that they've put up for years, but those videos have not been monetizable. But what we want to do for the consumer at the end of the day, consumers want it now. Our goal is to make that happen. And that's what Runway Buy was designed to do.
And Mark, how can I help you? I am, clearly not a very fashionable individual, but how can do you want me to model for you? Would you like?
Not at all.
Is that why you're calling me? Tell me how I can help you.
Not at all, Mike. What we're looking to do right now, we've already built our technology. We've completed our iOS. We've completed our R&D. We've completed our Android. We're now taking the platform. We've already acquired some customers. But to begin to scale this thing the way we want to in the country, obviously in the U.S. to start, we're going to need a little bit of help. Friends and family money can only go so far. So we're looking for 1.5 million for an 18-month runway, and that will get us to where we need to go.
And what do you want to use the money for? What do you think the capital will be used for?
We've got some development items that we're still working on, and we also want to transition our development team out of India, and we want to bring it to North America.
Got it.
And also working on our marketing strategies, also taking care of some costs in PR, and finally taking care of some staff costs. Obviously, a lot of folks have been working for free. We really need to be able to pay those people at this point.
Excellent, Mark. Thank you very much. Thank you. So, Mark, I'll do more of the talking because I know that it might be a little bit more difficult. I'll give you some feedback, and then we can reverse the roles. Okay, right? And you can be any investor you want. But first of all, it was a good pitch. It's a good pitch, Mark. I got it. I understood what you were trying to do. There's basically two major components on how you're innovating. You are targeting the ultra fashionistas, okay? The ones that want to buy immediately after they see it on the runway, right?
Yes.
Immediately after. So there are a group of people, obviously not myself, okay? But there are a growing number of people that using watching live streams of the runways around the world are engaged and excited, and they want to have that product now. Right. We live in a world where we want to have the product now. So this is it's seeing something, okay, and wanting to buy it now, and also seeing it on video and allowing the producer of the video, or the fashion designer or the production company behind to monetize better. Because people tend to buy when buying from video is way more effective than buying from an image.
Right, absolutely. Yeah.
And you know that, right? You already know that information. So my two questions for you is this. Number one is, how much more effective, when you think about conversion rates, because you didn't bring it up in your pitch, right? I want to elevate a little bit. Tell me about the conversion rate between a beautifully rendered live stream from the runway, okay, versus a typical image that you would see on like a H&M website, for example, okay?
Right.
What's the difference in conversion rate?
Well, H&M, first of all, it's a different product, so it's
Sorry, I don't. To be honest, I don't. Clearly, I don't. I don't have the right example, Mark. So
yeah. But I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Or
So,
Louis Vuitton. Okay, I got
right.
it. A Louis Vuitton static image on their
Right.
website. If that works.
Conversion rates from video to actual static is about a 51% increase in conversions. But you also have another equation that's a part of that, and that's engagement, meaning you have the ability to communicate with the designer or their team in real time. So there's a chat platform in the midst of the actual app itself. So you are watching that product and you're like, well, I wonder if they ship to Australia. Oh, they ship to Australia. You're going to get that answer in real time. It's the conversion of the type of video that you're using plus the actual real-time engagement that allows for those numbers to go up.
Yeah. Because you want to. There are a couple of questions around sizing and delivery, all of that jazz, right? Okay.
Right.
Now tell me a little bit more about the idea. So we've talked about video versus static. Tell me about how much, when you're at a live event, okay? And, because the way I look at it, the way I see what you're doing, Mark, and again, I'm simplifying it, guys, right? You'll see this. People ask me all the time, oh, Ash, I really enjoyed your elevator pitch. All I do is I simplify things, Mark, okay? And I put it into real life context. I am not any more intelligent than anyone else here, okay? Trust me, you can ask my mom, okay? She still wonders why people are, So the point I have for you is this idea of being able to buy at a live event, okay, right? And be a part of that ecosystem, right? The energy and the idea of being real time first, the first 100 to buy, okay? I my question to you is, how much does that improve conversion rates? Tell me a little bit about that for a fashionista. Tell me a little bit about that, because we got 50% on the video and the interaction, okay? Tell me a little bit about that.
On average, the numbers we've looked at with Statico have said it's between 60 and 70% on a conversion of someone who's already looking to buy when they go from a video environment with engagement to an actual versus a static, for example. In the case of a live show, keep in mind that live show is not just you and I being physically there in the brick and mortar space, but it's also live in that we can log in from around the world.
Of course, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So I'm live. I'm sitting in Toronto, and I'm in Milan. The show's in Milan, where most of the shows are. I'm live virtually. How much more? Because there might be 100 pieces of this. Okay. And we're there, we're live. I want to, there must be a better engagement, right? When you go to auctions for charities, that's what I do. You go there, you're like, oh, I want to be part of this, right? What you're doing is you're putting the person in a different mind space, right? They're feeling, there's a sense of urgency. It's not just buying a widget from Amazon.
That's correct. Yes, because it's limited supplies.
There's social proof. Correct?
Right.
If I buy now, I can brag about it on Instagram, correct?
Right,
Mark,
absolutely.
Mark, that is important for some people. Very important, okay? Bragging on Instagram is very important. So being able to it's like shoes, Mark. You've seen this. You must know about the craze people have for kicks, right? I got the first 100 Izzies, right? One of the first 100 Izzies and stuff like that.
Right.
So the thing is tell me a little bit about how that improves. If people are there, what's their propensity to buy? Does that increase? Obviously. But
it does. It does. And let me tell you why. Most brands only produce about 30% of the product that you see on Runway. So not everything ever goes to market. What those brands also have the ability to do is select one of those items that we call the auction item. That's a part of our app as well. So they can actually auction off one of those items. That's a one-off item that only one person in the world will ever own. So we've just seen a Marc Jacobs collection, and you're like, wow, I really like that suit. Well, only one person will own that suit because they'll never take that to production. They've made that decision going in, plus some of the feedback that they'll get from the after show. So they've selected that item. That means you can brag, and you have bragging rights forever. I'm the only one with this suit. Now, keep in mind, that's an auction price. They will set the bid at a certain minimum amount.
Understood.
You could have a suit that no one else in the world ever has. You talking bragging rights? Absolutely, you're going to brag about that.
And my point is that it's all about conversion rate to buy. That's the way I look at this product.
Absolutely.
So what I'm doing is just simply saying the live event and the auction and the bragging rights is going to increase the chance of conversion by something.
Yes, absolutely.
And then the video with the interaction, the live video with interaction is also going to convert.
That's correct.
Static images. So I need to put those two together. So my question remains, Mark, on the live event auction component, right? The fact that they're live, the fact that they go first. Okay. What do you think the conversion rate's going to be? Is that going to improve? Like, is it a 30%, a 50%, a 5%? What do you think it is?
Because the whole auction portion is brand new, so the market hasn't really given us a dictation on that specifically. But the feedback that we get from brands and the feedback that we get from consumers, they believe it will definitely increase by at least 50%. But those numbers aren't accurate yet because this is a brand new system and it's never been tried when it comes to the auction component.
And let me ask, Mark, and I appreciate you making time. I know that you're a little under the weather, but my question to you is, have you tested the product? Have you gotten some?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Work?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Yes, we were recently shown at Swim Week, which is the largest swimwear presentation for fashion in the world. That was Miami. So we showcased there. We did fairly well there. Feedback from the brands loved it. Now brands are coming back and using it again. We've got about 25 brands that have already come on board. Now we're in discussions with some of the brands for New York Fashion Week, because that's really our coming out party, so to speak.
Yeah, awesome. What was the first one? Can you give me the name of the first one?
Yeah, it's called Swim Week, Miami.
Swim Week.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's the largest swimwear and resort wear event in the world. So that's where all the brands who are in that particular category come out to play. So we're there.
I'm sure that you would have a very interesting video composition to show.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Would you like to see some videos from Swim Week that we did last week? Would you like to have a cup of coffee and watch?
Yeah, let's watch some videos.
There you go.
Your words, not mine. But yeah, in answer to your question, so the feedback's been really good. We also gotten some feedback from consumers because we're obviously doing surveys with the consumer side as well. And in some of those items too have been taken notes, and those are some of the things that we're tweaking with the next version.
Got it. All right. So I like this. You know, the thing, Mark, when I think about this, there is kind of part of what I see around it. It is crowdfunding, live crowdfunding, okay, for fashion, right? Live crowdfunding or live group buying for fashion.
Yeah.
Correct? Right? And you know, we use words again that connect with people because it's like, oh, crowdfunding makes money. I believe it. Okay. Or group buying, you know what I mean? And that's what you're doing from a simplistic perspective, right? People get it and they understand it, right?
Yeah.
And you need around $1.5 million to kind of get it going. And what I wanted to hear, you know, you talked about moving the tech team and all these components, which I understand. It's always good to kind of have local people. But I wanted to hear about market traction, right? So, you know, your New York Fashion Week,
right,
and all of that stuff. I wanted to hear that first.
Okay.
I want growth capital first, Mark.
Okay.
Right. I want you, and this is true, right? You finished the Swim Week. Is it called International Swim Week?
No, it's just called Swim Week.
Yeah, Swim Week, right? And now your New York Fashion Week. You need to ramp up. We need to ramp up. Okay. And that ramp up, to make all this work, I need to upgrade things. You know how it is. I need to upgrade my tech team. I need to upgrade, and a lot of people have put a lot of time, energy, and effort. We need to start, you know, compensating them, and he'll get that. But there's a goal. There's a commercial goal.
Right.
Is that fair?
Absolutely.
So when they ask that question, you want to jump into that so they understand why. I want to give money to a winner, right, Mark? Right? You have a winning product, but when you put the money to use, you need to put it for a win. I want to bet on and where where is Mike Bloomberg right now, right? Or his son? Where does he probably
They're
live?
in New York, man. That's where he's at.
Right? So you're talking to the right person. Okay, right?
Right.
So that's my view around it, Mark. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Okay. And so you need around $1.5 million. Okay. There is this being able to buy from video, being able to buy from a live event, right? Group buying and all these components, and that can raise conversion rates by 50 to 100%. That's what I'm gathering.
Yeah,
is that fair?
Large, yeah.
Right? Yeah. And how big do you think this market is, Mark? My last question to you. How big do you think this market is?
Well, on the national level, we're looking at just 1/4, and we're talking the East Coast of the U.S. to start. We're talking about $25 billion.
$25 billion.
East Coast in America. That's correct. That would include swim week.
The activity, the economic activity around runways and high-end fashion and stuff like that. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, correct. But keep in mind, this is not only in those particular platform scenarios. This is also for the stores. The boutiques can do this and use this, front and center. And the same is true of a big box retailer. A lot of the reason why these guys are interested in the technology is COVID woke them up to, we've got to have a second play.
Sure.
It can't be just people walking through the doors. We need to be able to turn on our lights when we need to turn on our lights, and we'll broadcast to our consumers if necessary. Yeah. So that's the other play.
Got it. Like it. All right. What we're going to do, Mark, is there anything else that, so there's a $25 billion market.
That's East Coast, yes.
Just on the East Coast. And it's good that you brought it down, right? The East Coast of the United States.
That's
right?
Correct. Yeah.
And it's good just to zero in on that, because that's your play. You have 15 years of experience, right? You might have exposure to Milan and some of these other places. Yeah. East Coast is your baby.
That's our plan. That's our plan.
You know the people, you know what I mean? You have the relationships to make it work. All right, Mark, would you like me to pitch your idea back?
Please pitch it to me. I appreciate that.
And you get to be, who do you want to be?
I'll be Marc Palmer, actually.
Okay, you want to be Marc Palmer. The Marc Palmer. Okay.
The Marc Palmer, yeah.
Sounds like a golf, somebody who's been very successful in golf, but Arnold Palmer's son, Marc Palmer, or something like that, right? You can.
That's right.
All right, I'm hitting the top. Introduce yourself, Mark. Go ahead.
Hey, Ash, Marc Palmer here with Marc Palmer Ventures. Look forward to hearing what you have to say at this.
Hi, Mark. Thank you for making the time. My name is Ash Singh. I'm part of the Runway Buy team. As you know, COVID has changed a lot of things in the e-commerce world. I have spent the last 15 years in the fashion industry, and I think that our new platform that we've been developing over the last year is going to truly revolutionize the industry. What we do is we actually allow fashion brands that are running their runways and having their fashion events, allow their customers, their fans, their Instagram communities to come and live buy when the video is being played. What that allows us to do is we've discovered that people are 50% more likely to convert if they're watching a video versus a static image on a website. And they're also more likely to buy if we create this certain level of time constraint, right? A live event, and we get them to come together from like a crowdfunding or group buying perspective to allow them to auction and buy our products. Okay. We think that this is going to revolutionize the industry. We already started off with the Swim Week event. We got tons of great feedback, and now I'm looking to scale this up for the New York Fashion Week. And I know that you're from New York. We want to scale up. The pieces are all there. The team, the execution, the timing is all there. I want you to come together and help us, because we need to now raise a little bit of money for our growth to revolutionize how people are going to engage with fashion brands. And we want you to be part of our journey. I'd love to meet with you over a cup of coffee to show you some of the videos from our swim week and show you how it works in person. Would you like to have a coffee?
Well, let me ask you this before we even get there, Ash. You mentioned fashion.
Yes.
Is this technology transferable into other industries?
Well, the thing is if you think about the basis, right? You have live video, live events, live video, Okay.
Right.
And people are showcasing stuff, and we're talking about fashion because I understand that space really well.
Right.
And it's a $25 billion industry just on the East Coast alone.
Okay.
That's where we want to focus with the $1.5 billion that we're working, that we're looking for. But what our big picture is for any live event. If you take tomorrow, there's an Apple event and they're showing a new luxurious iMac or iPhone, and they want to get the first pieces going and understand which customers are their early adopters. We can do it for electronics.
Okay. Like
cars.
Yeah.
Okay. But I need to have that zero focus right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
We win on fashion and get all the components done, because fashion, there's a sexiness to that. And we can bring that sexiness to everything else that we aim to do in the second and third round, which I'd be happy for you to participate in.
Okay. Yeah, we could do a coffee, sure.
All right. Thank you, Mark.
Wait, Ash, quick question.
Yes, sure.
How much are you guys looking for, man?
$1.5 million. We're looking for 1.5 mil. We've been building this out. As you know, we've raised a friends and family round. Now we need to grow. We have 20 brands that are interested to come on board. We want to tweak some of our tech. We want to tweak some of our team elements. We want to hire some more people, get our community activists together. We need some growth capital.
Okay, easy enough. Sure, let's do a coffee.
All right. Okay. Thank you. So, Mark, how was that?
It was awesome.
Awesome. That's what I want. I want you to it comes back to that conversion element, right? And if you want, you can share your big picture of where you're going, because you asked me that question.
Yeah.
Okay? But the other thing around it, sometimes it could be a trap where the guy is testing to see if he's going to take my money and just spend it everywhere.
Right.
I came back and I said, listen, I'm a fashion guy.
Right.
Okay. Right. I'm going to fix this, make it work. And why fashion is important? Because if I can get fashion right with beautiful people and sexy products and all of that stuff, coming down to a boring piece of metal, okay, like an iPhone,
right?
Here, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So I brought that together, right? I was thinking about why you asked me this question. Most people would say, oh, yeah, I'm going to go everywhere and I'm going to get lost in it. But I stopped and I understood, right, where you're going. And I showed you that I'm going to respect your money and I'm doing this for now. But later on, yes, and I would love for you to participate, which means when I'm going there, I'm going to ask you for more money, Mark.
Right. Got it.
So that's another thing, right? Because Marc Palmer Ventures, right? It's got some coin, right? We need to make sure that you're on for the whole ride, Mark.
That's right.
So again, I know that you're a little under the weather, Mark. Was this helpful for you?
Oh, much better, and the ginger tea's working, so I'm good to go now. So.
Good. Okay. This is what I want, Mark. I love what this is happening. You need to succeed. We need to figure out where you're going to get some of that capital. We need to get in front of the right people. Okay. Some of the East Coast VCs. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. We need to zero in on that. We also need to try to find some money from the people that have made a lot of money in fashion, but have been hammered by COVID and have nothing else to do. They're sitting on cash. Okay. We need to figure those components out, but congratulations. I mean, great stuff. And if these conversion rates are as you've described, and you have like a center of excellence around community development for live crowdfunding group buying events, I mean, that's amazing. You go there and suddenly the guy's running the event and generating revenue, right? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, in the high fashion, like LV, if you're doing it for LV, they could be generating $500,000. Right?
Oh, yeah, one show could. Yeah, for us, we get 15% of every transaction.
Awesome.
And there's a subscription fee as well. But yeah, one event can make a pretty significant amount of money.
Right. And so we need to map your cash flow modeling out around that too, Mark. We'll work on that with you to make sure that happens. But that's fantastic, right? Thank you very much, Mark. Appreciate you making the time.
Of course. Thank you.